Tonight on Business Live, the National Insurance Commission, in collaboration with other relevant stakeholders, has moved to address revenue losses through the signing of a marine cargo insurance protocol.
Consultations had been held with all relevant stakeholders to secure buy-in to facilitate smooth implementation.
Also, pressure mounts on the Electricity Company of Ghana to immediately resolve challenges associated with its prepaid metering system. Plus, today on the Joy Business Band, we're at Linux Collection, the fashion retailer overcoming the impact of COVID-19 pandemic to produce locally. You're most welcome to the program. I'm Charles Aite. Let's settle for the details. Of course, the National Insurance Commission, together with the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ghana Shippers Authority, has signed an agreement to implement cargo insurance in the country. Now, the agreement provides the framework for the mandatory implementation of a critical component of the Insurance Act. My colleague Bismarck Awusa was at the signing ceremony and, of course, has come through with this report.
According to some statistics from the National Insurance Commission, NIC, only 6% of goods imported into the country are insured locally, a situation the Commission says is a breach of the Insurance Act, which requires that all goods entering into the country are insured by local companies. It is against this background that the NIC has moved to implement the marine cargo insurance. In his address, the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Justice Yelfori, says the development will go a long way to reduce revenue losses to the state.
The effect of this is that our marine insurance business was struggling, whilst our importers continue to pay large premiums to overseas insurance companies, most of whom could not be traced to pay claims in the event of losses. The NIC, in partnership with the two very relevant institutions, GRA and GSA, was therefore necessary to establish procedures to ensure that there is an enforcement in compliance with the law to the benefit of all parties. Prior to this occasion, consultations had been held with all relevant stakeholders to secure buy-in to facilitate smooth implementation.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Association, Benonita Bismarck, says the cargo insurance protocol will help local shippers become globally competitive.
Shippers importing cargo into Ghana have very little control in the rates of premium they pay abroad, and most often these insurance premiums are relatively high. Also, where the insurance is taken abroad and there arises a need for a claim, the process is fraught with delays and extra costs to the shipper. These concerns have been the reasons why the Ghana Shippers Authority was drawn to this important issue of cargo insurance placement in Ghana. The opportunity provided in the Insurance Act for shippers to take insurance locally for their imports delivers a very important mitigating factor to ensure that they remain competitive in the global trade arena.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Revenue Authority has pledged its commitment to ensuring compliance at the ports. Director General of the authority, Reverend Amishadai Owusu Amwa, believes the marine cargo insurance has the potential to rake in more revenue and create jobs.
The quest for efficiency in our operations and the need to offer excellent service delivery to all our clients is what drives us to partner with other agencies. In line with this objective, we warmly welcome this initiative that will further empower customs with the compliance tool to ensure that cargo leaving and cargo arriving in the country is ensured with the local insurance companies. On our part, the GRA will ensure that importers comply with the requirement of providing evidence of insurance covered either by a local insurer or by an offshore insurer with authorization from the National Insurance Commission. The exercise of this compliance rule will be the implementation of this compliance rule will be in conformity with the provisions of the Customs Act 2015, Act 891, and the Insurance Act 2006, Act 724. We are excited about this MOU as it will have significant impact on our operations.
All relevant stakeholders to the protocol have expressed readiness to embark on vigorous sensitization of their members ahead of the implementation. Bismarck Osa, Joy Business.
Now, the Institute of Energy Securities wants the Electricity Company of Ghana to immediately resolve issues with prepaid card meters and billings. According to the IS, it has noted with concern the recent widespread challenges being experienced by the prepaid customers of the ECG. Of course, let's hear from the person of Eric, who has been detailing for us. He's the research analyst with the IS. He's been detailing for us the need for this. But first, though, my colleague Kweku Asante has been interacting with some customers affected by this recent issue.
Okay, so I came to buy prepaid, and then they are telling me that I'm owing 800 cedis. I don't understand. I don't get why I'm owing 800 cedis when I buy prepaid every time and I pay for it. I'm really confused. I don't know what is going on right now because I always buy prepaid. I pay. I buy the prepaid and I pay. So I don't get why I should come and buy prepaid today and I'm owing 800 cedis. 800 cedis. That is not a joke at all. It is not a joke at all.
This is really becoming unbecoming. Now, almost every time that, well, per chance, I'm not able to recharge and my lights go out, almost always, when you go back to recharge, they tell you that you are owing some amount. Then the last time it was somewhere 150 Ghana cedis that I was owing. Meanwhile, it had just gone off for like about a minute or two. Not long after that, they said I was owing. It wasn't the first time, it has been several times. Now, when first did I notice this? The first time I saw this was long after the president had announced that we were going to be getting some of our electricity bills absorbed. Very annoying. Every time, just recently, it happened to us that we were going to recharge when our lights were out. Then we realized that we were owing some amount of money. It becomes very annoying. When I don't have anything, I'm deciding to just have something small to buy. Then they have to deduct something again from it.
I think the thing I think we have issues. So we have issues with our connection. So we are pleading with ECG because for me, I don't understand. You understand? The thing is, yesterday we were just around, we were just watching TV, and then the lights went off. So we even thought it was, like normal light out. We were just waiting. We waited for almost 6 hours, and we went to check, and then they said, okay, so we owe. And which they use prepaid. So how this thing will happen? That is what we don't understand. So we think that there is an issue. There is an issue with the connection. So we are pleading with ECG. Please, we are begging them. They should come and work on this thing for us. They beg them. Wow.
I purchased prepaid, right? So unfortunately on Friday my lights went off, and I tried going to buy prepaid. So to top up, and with prepaid, I don't think I'm supposed to owe, because when I owe, it goes off. So I tried buying some. I bought like 20 cedis, but I was later told I owe 200 cedis, and I don't really understand. So can you please help me understand?
So my mom sent me to come and buy our prepaid because our light got finished, and then I get here and then they are saying that the prepaid we are owing, and I don't understand how we are owing prepaid when it's we always buy our lights. I'm really frustrated. I don't even know what to say, because how are we owing? This is not postpaid. How are we owing if it's prepaid that we are using? And right now my mom is waiting for me home to bring back the credit, only for them to tell me that we are owing. I didn't know that with prepaid we had to be paying bills monthly and all that. So I really don't know what's going on. I don't know at all.
Some aggrieved customers of ECG there. Well, ECG has responded, stating that it is rectifying the situation. But we put these concerns to the IAS, who early on had issues to raise. You could see the press release there by the ECG responding to the concerns raised so far. If you go down to the very last but one paragraph, it states that, among other things, generally with ECG prepaid meters, money is deposited into a meter account and dispensed with an approved tariff till it is finished. Then the meter disconnects electricity supply to another deposit is made. In some minimal cases, the meter breaker stays connected and the meter continues to record the customer's consumption on a zero balance, and this can lead to a debt. So you can see from the press statement there, as they explain to us the reasons behind most of these aggrieved customers hearing from the Customer Service Relations Department that they owe. Down there, you could see a digit to the telephone lines. It's inked in red, so customers would have to call to channel out their grievances there. But we put this particular press release to Fritz Moses. He's a research analyst with the IAS early on the marketplace. This is what he had to say.
To explain to customers, especially why they were facing the challenges that we were confronted with, and to also provide the necessary solution that is needed to solve it. Because essentially there had been certain speculations going around that these are unscrupulous means that the company was using to siphon funds from the onlooking Ghanaians. And so we believe that, yes, their ability to come out and explain to Ghanaians and to us at IAS as to what exactly the problem is and how they are managing or how they are solving it was important and necessary at this point.
Great, but Fritz, in your statement, you made it quite clear that this debit to debt issue regarding the meters is much more of a concern to consumers. Now, the ECG has explained in detail, if we go down to the paragraph, the reasons behind the situation, citing that sometimes it takes some more transition time. If you go to the very latter end, it talks about the delay in transmission of information from the meter to the main source. Is it convincing enough for the IAS, considering the challenge that most consumers are, having right now?
Yeah, so essentially, the concerns of customers was in relation to the fact that they were being asked to pay for debt when they go to buy new power purchases, and so they were not understanding why, as a prepaid customer, you'll be told that you are owing. And we also of the view that there is a need for ECG to come out and explain why that was so, and then to allay the fears of customers. And we think that, yes, there's a understanding as to why the communication between the meters and ECG itself, or the company itself, fails at points. And we believe that these are some of the technical issues that we talked about. And so we realized in our statement, we said that there are moments or times when a customer would have to wait for sometimes hours and days for a technician from ECG to come and operate on their meter before it picks up the new purchases that they've made, after they have paid the debt that they were told they owe the company. And so, yes, we think that it makes understanding, or it's understandable for ECG to say what it said, and also to the customers that were facing these challenges. We believe that as the company is fixing its challenges, or the technicians of ECG are fixing the communication challenge, they will be able to complete that hopefully before the year ends, and going forward into next year, we wouldn't have such issues popping up again.
And you're still watching Business Live. Well, it's Christmas. We all do know it's Christmas, and one major staple making it on our dinner tables will be that of rice. Many of us have preferences when it comes to rice. Some of us love it locally made, others still love it the Chinese or Thai way. Whichever suits you. We want to discuss this very issue because government spends close to $1.5 billion each year in the import duty for rice. This is very much disturbing when indeed we can grow, sell and eat Ghana rice in Ghana this festive season. To help us give you the more reason to channel your energies to local rice is a musician who is currently turned a rice farmer, doing so lovely in his field, Trig Matic. He joins us via Zoom. So Trig, we're so grateful that you joined us. We had an earlier discussion at 1 p.m. Time couldn't allow us, but help us understand, now that we have ample time, your story regarding local rice.
Well, thank you. I don't know if you can hear me.
You're loud and clear.
Okay, so thank you, and thank you to your viewers. I was introduced to it for the same reason that you mentioned, 1.5 billion, and the numbers will increase and increase if we do not encourage the intake or encourage people to patronize made in Ghana rice. I mean, obviously, the people who are bringing it in are businessmen. They're looking at the demand that rice has. Also, there has been a long time input when it comes to orientation of the taste of rice and even the varieties and all of that. So a friend introduced me to it. I looked at it. I saw that there was a big gap. However, I also realized there was a big challenge. The little I could do was to get involved. If I wanted change, I wanted to be a part of the change that I was seeking. So this is what got me into it. First 2 years was a disaster. I mean, no harvest at all. You realize that there's a lot people don't know about farming, especially rice, when it comes to investment and when it comes to understanding the rice itself. You know, so all that led to huge failures, but we never gave up. I partnered with Richard Addison. Together, we created Ken Farms.
Well, the issue of technology not favoring us there, but very lovely information there from Trigmatic, telling us his local rice story, having to start off on the commercial scale. It's very important. This festive season, let's just make it a point to consume local rice. And I think Trig is back on. He could help us with this particular discussion on local rice. So Trig, we lost you a while ago, but if you could help us understand the purpose of the consumption of local rice in Ghana. Many of us might not be able to understand this argument, but you have been on the field. Help us understand the cost element involved in consuming local rice in our part of the world.
Well, I mean, first of all, let me just say that anytime you change your mind to want to consume local rice, you have decided to be a part of the growth in that local industry, because then it encourages government sees the demand. It encourages government and other stakeholders to be actively involved in terms of investment, in terms of even the local producers taking packaging seriously. You aid the food chain process to run perfectly, and you encourage the local producer to even do more. And you see, if we advise more of the intake of the local rice, you would have a lot of people along the chain being employed. I mean, there's issue of unemployment as well, and all of that can help in curbing or controlling the numbers when it comes to that. So encouraging people to actively be involved in eating a lot of local rice. Now, also when it comes to health, with our local rice, and especially some of us who consider the health issues, we do not polish them with chemicals. We do not, where it's coming from. You know that it's being sun-dried. You know that the drying is done well, is organic. Some of us sieve out all the starch residue. The thing with imported rice is you really don't know where it's coming from. The truth is, sometimes some of them purchase the paddies from us, the local farmers, and still sell it back to you as imported rice. So you really don't know where your rice is coming from. You really don't know what has been used in growing it. But with us, we're using proper organic manure. We're trying as much as we can to use organic processes to make sure you eat right. So at least when you're eating local rice, you know where it's coming from. Great. You know you're eating good food, and you know you're supporting Ghana.
Great. It's very interesting the way you're able to link the economic benefits to the health potential of consuming local rice. We're so grateful. I must admit that you really wrapped up the advantages of local rice consumption in Ghana. You can turn that into a song. We're so grateful, Trigmatic, for joining us on Business Live. Thank you very much. Well, let's still stay on issues regarding Christmas and a little bit of COVID-19. That's going to be all coming up on the Joy Business Van after this break. Welcome back. Now, the fashion industry has not been spared the chaos of COVID-19. Production cycles and retail operations have been put to pause for months. Is this a tough time for fashion retailers as consumer demand has also reduced? However, Linda Akresi-Kote, the pandemic is opening opportunities for her chain of fashion stores, Linux Collections. She's our feature today on the Joy Business Van.
Hello, Joy Business Van. My name is Linda Akresi-Kote, CEO of Linux Collections. You are welcome to our wholesale division. Please let me show you around. At Linux Collections, we stock ladies' clutches, bags, totes, side bags, and work bags. We also have ladies' slippers, flat slippers, heels, shoes, workwear, and then we deal in clothing too. In the clothing section, we have clothes which are imported from Dubai, from Turkey, and from the UK.
Linda Akresi-Kote started off a career in something nowhere close to fashion, but she couldn't hide her passion anymore.
I used to be a journalist. Then after a while, I started selling from the booth of my car. I would initially sell for friends. I'll come and pick them in town from aunties, friends, and other people. And I'll resell it to friends, people, family, and all of that. So gradually it was growing.
From her savings, she opened a small store to start her fashion retail business. Soon, she would start traveling all over the world, not to pursue new stories, but bring in fashion items to sell. From just a small store, Linux Collections has grown fast, now with 4 outlets, 2 in Accra's Central Business District. We've tried over the years to build an image for ourselves. For example, some few years ago, we introduced the plus-size clothing. That's got a lot of customers because people like me were finding it difficult to get their size of dresses and the kind that the regular sizes will wear. So if you did a plus size at the time, everybody would tell you to go to Linux. So when they came, they'll bring their friends, we'll get referrals. So it made us multiply quickly in the business. Consistency and customer satisfaction, Linda tells me, have been crucial in the success story of Linux Collections.
I think the 16
is better than the 14.
Yeah,
okay.
It's better than the 14.
Okay, so let me give the 16 back to them. Okay, so let's look at this one.
Okay, I also want the 16 of this. But
Linda does a lot of travel to bring in fashion items, but COVID-19 has showed up. Borders are shut in many countries and many are yet to reopen. This means limited stock of products and a reducing consumer purchasing power.
The whole world is affected. It's not just us. Even the manufacturers are affected. Because it takes them a while to get back. Some have actually sent emails that they are back to work, they are back to this, but it takes them a longer time to produce than they used to do. Because for example, in January, if I'm sending a design that, okay, can I have this stocked up again? It takes about a week to do that. It's taking them like a month and a half to produce one design. It means that's a problem.
Rather than sit indifferent and allow COVID-19 to rip up the business, Linda says she's now turning to domestic production.
So we've put a team of young men and women together who are sewing locally for us to feed the market. They're in touch with the manufacturers, so they send us the current styles, then we give it to them to produce here. So it's not like we are just producing anything. But if even everything gets back to normal, we think that the ones we are producing here, the customers want it, the same quality, the same designs, the same finishing. So I'm not sure that we are going to, even when COVID is under control and we start traveling, we are not going to stop this aspect.
Linux Collections is transitioning from just being a retail business to wholesale distribution. Linda is excited about this new phase of her business because producing locally means reducing over-reliance on other markets and creating jobs during these difficult times.
Linax is solution-driven. What we seek to do is to provide solutions to what our customers are looking for. In the future, we intend to open shops in all the metropolis, the regional capitals, so that we get closer to the people. And also, we intend to do most of our flip-flops locally so that we can increase our range and the designs to serve our customers better. So we have more varieties than we used to bring. And also for the wholesale, we want to help or provide for the retailers as well. Because in this time especially, I'm sure they're going to struggle with how to get the things on the market. So you are putting them also in mind.
As she forges ahead with her expansion and production drive, Linda remains focused in making Linax collections the next big thing in Ghana's fashion industry.
These are the kind of stories that you need as an entrepreneur to keep you going amidst the challenges of COVID-19. That's how we end Business Live as well. I'm Charles Aite. Many thanks for being a part of the show.